There we go. I'm gonna learn so much about football this year, dude.
I hope so.
Like I'm gonna have to learn so much just to keep up with you, but also my colleagues. So I told you I was in that fantasy football league last year.
Yes, and
Right?
we will still have a fantasy draft special. Don't worry.
We will. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What does that mean?
We'll just like bake it into a segment for one of our episodes. We'll just have like a fantasy football draft preview.
Okay. All right. I like that because I'm in another league now.
Let's go. Go. So was that 2?
Yeah, that's 2 leagues.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
So are you a fantasy football partaker?
I am. I actually finally won last year, and I won both of my leagues. I went 2 for 2.
Oh hell yeah!
After the years before finishing second in both of those leagues as well. Oof. So I was pretty happy with myself because last year the one league, I know nobody cares about your fantasy team, but here we are anyways. Last year when I finished second, or 2 years ago when I finished second, the guy I was like crushing it all year, and I'm like, I have no business losing this, but it's fantasy football and things happen, so you can't. It's not like you can actually control anything.
Yeah.
But I lost. I was like, oh, that sucks. That was actually kind of in dramatic fashion too. It was really up and down championship. But anyways, besides the point. So then last year, I have 2 good teams again. I'm like, I have a good chance, and it went my way. So I finally won, and I won both of my leagues that I was in. So I was very, very happy about that. Julia was very much like, wow, you're like really excited about this. I'm like, babe, I won. And I went 2 for 2. Yeah, I'm pumped.
You don't understand. I'm the best.
Yes, exactly. So yeah.
No, I told you my strategy last year was just to guess with names that I've heard of, players that I was familiar with, and players that went to Georgia.
Yeah, again.
And I came in second.
That was great strategy.
Yep.
That was a great strategy.
This year, I'm gonna try and follow that same strategy, but now I've heard of more players, so it's a little bit broken, maybe.
Sure.
But this league that I just joined today, is a keepers league, right?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm taking over for somebody else.
Okay.
So
who do you have that you can keep?
I've got a bunch of players that I can keep, but the 2 that make the most sense are Devon Achane out of Miami. Achane, yeah, out of Miami. And Justin Jefferson.
Smart. So follow-up question for you. The keeper league, is it you keep that player and then you keep them in the round they were drafted, or you just get to keep a player?
Keep them, but it's 1 round up from when they were drafted last year. Right?
If you drafted them in the first round, how can it go up?
You can't.
Okay.
Yeah. So guess what round these 2 players were taken in
1 and
last
2.
year? No.
When?
I get to keep Justin Jefferson. He would be my 5th round pick if I got to keep him.
What kind of a league are you in that Justin Jefferson got drafted in the 6th round?
And then
keeper league. I bet you this guy's had him since a rookie.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then
okay.
Achane would be in the 9th round.
He's running back, right?
Yeah.
Keep Jefferson. Keep Jefferson, draft running back in your first round.
Draft a running back. Well, I'm going to draft a running back. I'm going to draft a running back in the first round, but I also have that guy in the 9th round.
Can you keep 2?
Yeah, you can keep 2.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure, then do that. Wait, who else was on this team? That sounds like the right move, but who else was on the team?
Anthony Richardson.
Fuck, drop that guy. He sucks.
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Josh Jacobs, George Kittle, Zach
Okay.
Ertz, Aaron Rodgers. No.
No, neither.
Xavier Legette,
Mhm.
Demario Douglas, Justice Hill, Dylan Schultz, Ty Johnson, Chase McLaughlin, who I thought was a NASCAR driver. Is he not a NASCAR driver?
Chase Elliott is a NASCAR driver. Chase
Who's
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin?
Scott McLaughlin is a IndyCar driver.
Maybe I'm confusing those two guys.
Combining one super driver.
Kicker. So we know he's got a heavy right foot.
Interesting. Okay.
And then Miami's defense, which I'm not keeping.
The two you have said you should keep are definitely the two you should keep. Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It's not even close. It's not even close. That team's not that great. Xavier Legette, maybe, but he plays for Carolina. So
when was he drafted?
It's just kind of tough because he's got Bryce Young as quarterback, and there's a lot of questions there. Justin Jefferson's like the number one wide receiver, even with JJ McCarthy at quarterback and having not played, but it looks like he should be fine.
JJ, I like JJ.
I do too. Big JJ fan.
Yeah, this is a pro JJ podcast.
Yeah, big JJ guy. But then,
I think that could be good.
Achane, yeah, definitely keep him. Yeah, no, those are the two you should keep.
Yeah. So
for sure.
That makes the most sense. And
they're late rounds too, which makes it even better. Yeah.
No, that's the whole big thing. Like I can just kind of redo this team. Hopefully get Brock Bowers and kick everybody's ass. So.
Don't reach for him though.
No, you don't. I know you don't get a tight end that early.
There's some that you can, and it depends on how the league plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's a full PPR, a half PPR, or no PPR league, that'll
I don't know what that means. Point per yard,
point per reception. Yeah,
got it. Okay.
So if it's a full point per reception, sometimes you can because they're so like the focal point of the offense. Like a Travis Kelce was always a great example for that. Rob Gronkowski, Brock Bowers probably a good option for that too because who else do the Raiders have on offense as wide receiver weapons? Right, that's the point. Idea. So that might not be terrible, but there's still gonna be better guys out there before him, and there's a couple other tight ends that you might still be able to get before doing that. That's honestly what won me the league last year. I drafted Brock Bowers in like the 9th round.
Oh yeah, no,
it was crazy.
Game over. Game over.
Yeah, I was like, he's a rookie. Let's see what he does. And it was like, holy fuck, he's the number 1 tight end in the league.
Yeah, so. and that's how I got him in my last year was because I knew he went to Georgia, and I was like, I'm taking that guy.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy that I took. I can't remember my roster from last year. I wish I had it saved. There was another guy who went to Georgia, kicked ass.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all we need. So we'll see.
Definitely. But yeah, I would say even with it being PPR, you have Jefferson already. I would go running back for your first 2 picks for sure. They're so hard to come by. And having if you have 2 solid running backs, you're really in a good position. If you can get 3, it's even better, honestly. So they're just hard to pick now. But yeah, some wide receivers and running backs, they'll go back and forth the first 2 rounds, and that's how you should stay. You should stay focused on that. Stay pretty firm on that. Where you have the benefit again is you have Achane and you have Jefferson, but loading up on 3 top guys early is going to help you, and then you can use as trade options later if you don't get a good tight end.
And then when does one take a quarterback? That's the eternal question.
Like the 5th, 6th round. People inevitably reach for like Lamar.
Yeah.
Or Jalen Hurts is sometimes decent depending on how much he throws to, but he runs a lot. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, those
Burrow, those guys.
Those guys will go first, but still like that's early because you really need to shore up the other ones. Actually, that's another good question is what are your quarterback statistics for your league too? Because I've played leagues where they get a full point for every 10 yards of passing. So you do want to get a quarterback a little bit earlier who's going to sling it around. But the standard on quarterbacks is usually I think it's 1 point per 25 yards throwing, I think is how it works out. Yeah, 0.25, I think is how most standard leagues are set up. And some of them I played in, they only give you 4 points for a touchdown, not even 6 for a quarterback. So you got to kind of play in the weeds of your rules a little bit to know what your strategy should be going in. But generally speaking, go heavy on running backs and receivers in your first 4 rounds. And then you can think about quarterback, tight end, 5, and 6.
This is the most I've thought about fantasy football since my friend asked me to sign up last year. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, now I'm going to have a spreadsheet.
Bro, last year I came locked and loaded. I wrote notes. I'm like, I want these guys. These are the rounds I want to get them. And I told myself, I'm like, don't reach. Don't do it. Stick to your plan. And it worked out for me. Granted, that's not going to happen every year because there's injuries and other nonsense that happens, but it worked last year.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go. I think I'm well versed in fantasy football now. We can say we talk about Formula One.
I think we should get into some Formula One talk. It is a Formula One podcast after all. And with that, welcome back to the Backmarkers F1 pod, the latest and greatest F1 pod no one asked for, but here we are anyways. That's Ben. I'm Derek. And we have your Hungarian Pontiac Grand Prix-view this episode.
How do you say that in Hungarian?
Hungarian Pontiac Grand Prix-view.
That sounds very wow. I didn't even understand what you were saying there.
It's our last race before the holiday break, summer break, whatever you want to call it. We got 3 weeks off between now and the next holiday. One. It's just when Europe takes all of August off.
That's fair.
They all go on holiday.
Oh, okay. I thought this was some pagan ritual I was unfamiliar with.
No, that's just what Europeans call vacation.
All right. This is an anti-European program.
They all stop working. They forget that commerce and capitalism exists, and then they all take 3 weeks off, which you know what
is awesome.
Kind of nice. That's kind of fair. I get it. I understand both sides in this argument. That's nice. I do get it. It's like they argue it's like, how do you only take a week vacation? You don't get to settle in and like see things or relax or actually like take time away. It's like, yeah, you're right. But I also feel like I don't know what your PTO structure looks like outside of your holiday too. You know, like do you get more time off throughout the year? Like, can you choose like other days to take off, or is it kind of thought of like you get this big break in August, and that's what you get? I don't know. Maybe we need a European listener to email us at backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com and let us know. How does that work? I don't know.
It's all a scam here, so I mean, I'm sure they have better worker protections and worker rights over there. So
well, we don't know that either, but we've introduced unlimited PTO, which definitely is meant to make people work more. I do know that for a fact.
That is a scam, and it is let's move on before I say something you're gonna have to censor. Let's move on.
There we go.
Let's do that.
Yes, we'll move past that. Again, against the Hungarian Pontiac Grand Prix-view. This is a Formula One podcast. We are going to talk about Formula One and
not workers' rights. There we
go. So we've got the Grand Prix-view again for you here. Big news. The Dacia. No, I'm kidding. It's not the Dacia. Max Verstappen is staying with.
Oh, we did a hat change. We did a hat change.
We still got Red Bull and Max Verstappen being one cohesive unit. That is dumb exciting for Red Bull fans out there everywhere.
Absolutely. Are you excited?
It's cool. It's cool news. Yeah. I don't care where he stayed. I really didn't. It was one of those things like that'd be cool if he left, but it'd be cool if he stayed and like broke the top Red Bull driver trend, I suppose, to some extent.
You know what that means though?
No.
He's going somewhere else next year. Not
you think
2026 next. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. he's got some shit locked down for 2027 that we don't even know about. He's gone. He's gone.
Or he's just really looking out for Kimmy. He's like, I can't screw Kimmy over. Come on, man.
I don't know. We'll see. I would be surprised. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen other than Max is going to be at Red Bull next year, which is Good for him.
You know who I think it's extra good for? Yuki Tsunoda.
Ooh, tell me more.
I think that's extra good for Yuki because I think that shows there's Laurent not trying to burn it all down basically and start fresh over. I think it's like, hey, look, yes, there's a new regime change, but we want to retain our top driver. He has a really good relationship with Yuki Tsunoda, and let's keep that pairing together as much as possible for the upcoming season.
I think it's more about Max's release clause.
Okay.
I think it's more about Max. Basically, from my understanding, and shout out to the guys at the Race podcast, which talked about this. My understanding is that he needs to be 28 points, or their understanding is that he needed to be below third in the championship where he currently is right now.
Okay.
The point difference is 28 points between him and George, who is next, and only 25 points are available in the next Grand Prix. So that means his release clause was not triggered, and he sticks with Red Bull. Which means he's got a contract somewhere else next year when he's able to get out. Like he has to stay because nobody else is going to foot the bill for the big. Because
that's a big buyout.
Big buyout.
Big buyout. Yes. Okay. Well, either way, Max is the one who said it. I'm going to stop the rumors. I am staying with Red Bull in 2026.
Now that I have
that was
to.
very clear. Yes.
Yeah.
It was very clear. I have to do this.
We're leaving it for as long as humanly possible before we say that this is what's happening.
Yes, exactly. So, but either way, it's still breaking news. As of today, and we're recording the day that this has broke, and it answers probably the biggest question mark in silly season in the drivers market for 2026 now is what's going to happen with Max? Where is he going to go? Similar to how Carlos was last year, all the pieces fell once his decision was made. I think now we're going to start to see a string of signings and stuff. I don't think that's unexpected for this time of the year going into the summer break. This is when we start to see kind of some of those first dominoes falling, I would say.
So who is the second biggest domino?
I think it's George.
Really? Okay.
Because he's out of contract, and with Max not leaving, I think that just means George stays at Mercedes. Kimi stays at Mercedes. I think you're probably going to see those big names end up staying in the same spots. That'd be my guess, at least. And then maybe your bigger headline news are going to come from what Cadillac does, and then it'll follow suit with any of the backmarkers. The second Alpine.
The second Alpine.
The second Alpine. Like, that's the backmarkers. Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, no, I just want better things for Pierre. That's all.
Well, he's kind of stuck there.
Shit out of luck.
So, but yeah, that's what I think is going to end up happening. Which means it's probably not what is going to happen. There will be some crazy news, and there always is with silly season. So, there you have it.
There we have it.
Other news though, Fred stays with Ferrari. Did you see his extension?
I did not, but I'm really happy about it. Now that you told me about this and I'm learning about it for the first time, I'm happy.
I am too. All right, that's enough Red Bull hat. I don't care enough.
Yeah, there we go.
Back to the Lions. They play football tonight. Football is back.
All right. It's the preseason.
Yes, it is. But
aren't you excited to see the third stringer get in? Fifth string guy?
I am excited. If it wasn't the Lions playing in this game tonight, I wouldn't care that much. I would be happy. I would watch a little bit of it just to see a football moving across the gridiron again. But it is my team, and therefore that means it's infinitely more important. And not in terms of who wins or loses, but more just to see the rookies and other things. But that's
also
football talk.
Who wins or loses.
And this really that the preseason does not matter who wins or loses.
It does not matter. It's just
at all.
Running plays, but don't you want to see him win?
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool to see him win, but it truly
So
doesn't matter. The Lions who went 0, the year they went 0-16, they went undefeated in the preseason. That's how little the preseason matters.
Yeah.
So,
No, but okay, all right, let's move on.
yes, we'll move past it. Again, Formula One podcast.
Yes.
Brett stays with Ferrari. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think it's the only sensible move.
Mm-hmm. Granted, we've joked about Ferrari this season, but they've made improvements. They're trending upwards. They're second in the constructors, which, they've been second a lot in the constructors the past decade and a half or so.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's what you kind of expect at the very least out of Ferrari. But I saw a headline that looked like Leclerc was pretty happy with him staying. I think Lewis probably likes that he's staying because I would bet he probably moved to Ferrari with the expectation of I'm here to be with Fred, maybe to some extent, since they were part of the whole people that brought him over, right?
Yeah. I don't know how much of a role Vesser played in Hamilton coming over to Ferrari.
That's fair.
I would imagine that it was some, but I don't know if it was like earth shattering in terms of decision making. That being said, the stability aspect is the most important thing.
Yes.
Going into the big regulation changes, not having massive upheaval and not losing out on what you've been building so far up to that point is definitely a good thing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I think that's kind of like what we were just talking about with the driver's market too. It's like we're seeing a little bit more of let's keep some stability going in here because again, the new regs and the new big changes coming for next season. Let's keep what we have because there's a big change coming anyways, and it's better to build off of some sort of consistency rather than everything being brand new. Unless again you're a team way at the back end, what difference does it make anyway? Set fire to the thing and you're resetting anyways. But
exactly.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah. Are Hulkenberg and Bortoleto, they're both signed on through next season, right?
I believe so, yes.
That's a driver lineup confirmed. McLaren is confirmed.
I would imagine
Haas is probably confirmed too.
I have not thought about Haas at all.
I'm just kind of going through it because they just brought both people on. We knew George was out of contract, so Mercedes is not. Ferrari definitely is. Who else did it leave? Alpine's not. So there's 2 teams, and then
I don't know if Sauber is.
Okay.
That would be worth looking into. Maybe we should have done that before we started recording.
What do you mean? We do this now. We're the Backmarkers.
We'll do it live.
Anyways, yeah.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Fuck Bill O'Reilly. Yeah, I don't know because I thought it was just McLaren who was confirmed. Earlier this year, just McLaren and Ferrari.
Mercedes, Red Bull, Racing Bulls, and Alpine.
Oh, the question mark teams.
George Russell, Kimi Antonelli.
Which Kimi already resigned.
Specifically. Oh, he did? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yuki Tsunoda still hasn't.
Yeah.
Franco Colapinto still hasn't. And what I'm seeing right now, the Racing Bulls, Liam Lawson, despite being promoted and then being moved back, he says he is still out of contract at the end of 2025. That's all.
So let's talk Red Bull for a second. With Max staying. Yep.
Okay.
I thought you were getting a phone call. I was like, oh, well, all right, cool. Nope. I'll just chill here for a second.
Back to Red Bull.
With Max staying, it's so funny that you have that app.
You know what hat this is actually? It's my New York Red Bulls.
Yep.
Because it's the soccer ball.
I saw the soccer ball, and then underneath it's like American flag, right? A little bit.
No, it's just their checkered. It's red. That's their. Oh, that's the New Era logo. That's their old school kind of logo. From when I think they were the Metro Stars, and then on the interior, it's just the red and white checkered.
Interesting.
Yep.
There we go.
There you go. Do you know I worked for the Red Bulls?
Yeah, that's how I knew you had the hat. That's what I knew it was. Was that you were asking that rhetorically, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
That's okay. The listener didn't know that, probably.
the listener probably didn't know that, but I did because I'm a good friend and I care about you and I know things about you.
True. That year, sorry, quick tangent. We've been on a lot of tangents. 2021. I was definitely rooting for Max in the World Drivers' Championship between him and Lewis because I was like, I feel like I have to root for like my team in a sense. Like I'm part of the Red Bull family.
There you go. You're a company man. We love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Go. That rocks. That's funny. Red Bull. This entire podcast is a tangent. What are you talking about? Like, we're good. Max staying. Yuki ? Because it's one team. Lawson ? Hadjar ? Right? I would assume, based on how they've acted in the past and based on the fact that Helmut Marko can be a dick, they're probably going to take things out with Yuki until the end of the season before they give him a renewal. I would be throwing that contract at him. I would say, like, hey, you're good for next year. Let's see what the car can do. Who's gone?
You don't think they potentially keep all four of them?
I don't think they keep all four of them because they have Arvin Lindblad coming up.
Okay.
I don't know if because I think he has enough super license points. I'm not sure. I don't know if he, and I think they also got the exception for him to race. And that was news earlier this year. I could be wrong. If I am, no, I'm not. But also send us an email, backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com. Because obviously he's not going to be paired with Max at the big team. Where does Lindblad fit in, and who does he replace? Should he replace someone?
Fair. Well, knowing about Lindblad, which I didn't really know about him, that kind of puts all three of them at a question mark.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because prior to, I would say, the last couple weeks, I would say Hadjar was probably locked in as he's staying. But he's kind of put in a couple of performances now where it was like, he's still a rookie, and he finished dead last weekend. And we know how ruthless Red Bull can be. So I honestly, I would say all of them are still relatively on the chopping block. If you look at the overall total of the season, still. No, so I had two thoughts just go through my head there. One was, if you look at the overall total of the season, you probably say Yuki would be out. He's maybe looking for something else. But again, we just found out he wasn't getting upgrades on his car, and he just wasn't getting any sort of help essentially at the big team. So once you saw him get some help this last weekend, it's like, wow, he had decent qualifying performance again. Fell back again in the positions to outside the points, but it was definitely an improvement on the last few weekends. And now you have the rest of the season to see what can he do with upgrades, right? Yeah. So now it's almost like a prove it. With that thought of, well, he wasn't getting anything, I would say Liam's probably the next closest to being out because he's had more time. Yes, he's a rookie, but he raced last season, right? And you've seen a bigger pool of what he can do than Hadjar at this point in time. And I'm still a little higher on Hadjar than I would be on Liam, I think, even despite last weekend's performance. I think Hadjar has shown that he's got a little bit more racecraft and tact out on the track than Liam has, maybe. But again, knowing that it is Red Bull, it'll probably come down to the bitter end, and they'll decide after all of it's said and done.
There we go. Simple as that. I just had to ask that question because, yeah, if it's me, Lawson, you're out. Arvin, you're in. Let's see what you got. Don't crash.
Right. So. And that's not to say Lawson's like out. Maybe he can find himself over at Alpine or something like that.
I would say careers go to die. Yeah.
I would say it's not likely, but it's a possibility, right? Any Lego movie, anything is possible. No, that's not it. Everything is awesome. Sorry, I royally messed that one up. It's the Red Bull hat. It's ruining my performance. Hold on.
Too much circulation cut off in your brain. Yeah, I got
Back
you.
to some grittiness.
All right.
So yeah, driver markets, fun.
There we go. Cool. Ready to do some Pontiac Grand Prix viewing?
Yes, I had one other really quick headline for you. Antonelli says that he's going back to the old suspension system back in his car. So he's hoping that gives him some more confidence at the race this weekend, and maybe get him back into those points positions and better results that we were seeing. So we'll see if reverting back helps him out a little bit. But with that, let's go ahead, and get into some stats and history here for you about the Hungarian Grand Prix. So this is our first relatively newer track in a little while on the European calendar. First Grand Prix took place here, or the first Hungarian Grand Prix took place in 1986. So it wasn't one of the original ones, which we've had a lot of recently. Lap record goes to Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes back in 2020. And now we get into your first trivia question. Who has the most pole positions at Hungary?
That is a good question. I want to say, is it Hamilton or Vettel?
You have to guess one.
I have to guess one.
It's one of those two. I'll give you that.
It is one of those two. I feel like I guess Hamilton a little bit too much. I'm going to throw a curveball and say Vettel. Shouldn't have done it. Damn.
Yeah. Yep. It was Hamilton. Right. You guess Hamilton a lot because it is Hamilton.
It is Hamilton a lot. Yeah.
Go.
He's one of the best to ever do it.
9 pole positions.
Damn.
Most wins.
Also Lewis Hamilton.
8.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I knew he had most wins.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's good at driving.
He's insanely good at driving, yes. Yeah. So that's fun there. Let's see. The event, this is the trivia question on the F1's article about this. The event has been the scene of several drivers' first F1 victories. There's 4 that they have listed here since 2000 who have had their first victories here. Give me 2 of them if you can. Who's had their first victories in Hungary?
I believe Esteban Ocon had his first victory here.
First and only victory here.
And only. First and hopefully only.
2021, yep. That was kind of Alonso's victory anyways. He held up Lewis literally the entire race. But
oh my God. I love that race. That race was incredible.
Last time that car was actually kind of decent. Well, that's not true. Last year they got a podium, but
no, but I'm so glad that you brought up Alonso holding Lewis up the entire time. That was awesome. It was sick and disgusting, and I loved it. Other drivers who have had their maiden win there currently on the grid.
2 are currently on the grid. 1 sometimes is on the grid, but not driving anymore.
1 sometimes is on the grid, but not driving anymore. That seems like a hint. I don't know if I want to take the bait. 2 guys currently on the grid.
Just give me one.
Had their maiden name. I do want to try and guess both.
Okay.
It wasn't the guy who's sometimes on the grid. Because my first thought was Valtteri Bottas. I don't think he got his first win here. I think he got his first win in Russia.
Okay.
And your reaction kind of tells me that I'm right, so I'm sussing that out.
It's not Valtteri.
It is not Valtteri. I know it's not Fernando either. It is Fernando. I see the smirk on your face.
Fernando in 2003, yes.
In 2003, first victory in Hungary.
Yes.
I thought, maybe it was earlier in the year, in 2003.
Could have been. No idea.
I don't think I'm going to get who the last one is. Let's go ahead and throw out a name. It's not Leclerc.
No. A
Is
little
he...
warmer. I'll give you another hint. It was last year.
Last year?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Carlos then.
It was not Carlos.
Who got their first win last year? Jesus, now that's fucking... Oh, Piastri, duh.
There you go.
My God, that should have come really easily to me.
Wasn't that the controversy too, where Lando didn't want to give up the win?
They asked him to pass. Yeah, I mean that was and that was. I remember having this conversation with you last year. That was a team screw up, man. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done it. Not. They realized that they fucked it up and they tried to make it better. But honestly, if I'm Oscar, I'm putting an asterisk next to that, meaning it really didn't count. It wasn't until next weekend that he was like, "Yeah, I got it.
Fine, I'll just do it
all by myself." Yep.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
The other driver who was hinting at is Jenson Button in 2006.
Sometimes on the grid because he's a broadcaster. That was what I was thinking that you were saying, but in my head I only saw David Coulthard.
Okay.
Yeah, but I knew that wasn't. Mm-hmm. I knew that wasn't him. I know he had gotten a win somewhere else. So.
Yep. Good point. Well, wrapping up your stats part of this, safety car probability is at 25%, and virtual safety car probability is at 25%, and they've included that is from the last 8 races specifically. Mm-hmm. Weather reports from what I saw earlier looks like it is going to be wet again at the race.
Again?
So, well, it rained last weekend. It rained in Silverstone. It's rained a lot this year.
It's rained a lot this year.
Rained a lot this year. Maybe they'll actually race in the wet. You never know, with some water falling from the sky rather than just a wet track. But you never know. See what the
it would be nice to see. Hopefully next year with the lack of the ground effect and everything, the spray is reduced and they can actually see and drive in the rain. Because it used to be cool when they'd have the full wet tires instead of just the intermediates they'd use. Mm-hmm. You sidetracked me when you said weather report. Now I'm thinking about a jazz band. I've Birdland stuck in my head. You don't know who that is? You've never heard of Jaco Pastorius?
I have not.
It's okay.
I've heard of Oscar Pistorius.
Oh, dude. Fucking South African murderer guy, Blade Runner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that dude.
Yep.
I remember that dude. Jaco Pastorius is better.
Okay.
By a country mile, he's better.
I know Jocko Willink.
Ugh. That he's sweaty bald guy, right?
He is bald. I don't know enough about him to know if he's a sweaty bald guy, but from what I understand about his lifestyle, it wouldn't shock me if he was sweaty.
Yeah, no, I think he's one of those people that gets paid to yell at people because they're insecure.
I don't think he yells at people, but I don't know.
Does he yell at people? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
If you know, send us an email, backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com.
In breaking news, in the literal first play of the preseason game, the Lions are returning the football, and as Homeboy is getting tackled, he runs into his own guy and fumbles the football. And I feel like this is what we love about preseason football, right?
I feel like that's telling. I feel like that is an omen.
Knee might have been down. I didn't it's special teams, so it's harder to recognize special teams names.
This is a football podcast now.
That was absolutely hilarious. That is preseason football to a T. It's perfect. Somehow it's worse than college football, which makes no sense. It's not
preseason football until somebody gets a safety. Let's be clear.
Fair enough. It could happen in this game too. Back to your stats and history portion of this podcast. Your last 5 pole sitters here in Hungary. Last season, Lando Norris. Prior to that, Lewis, George, Lewis, and Lewis. So very much, again, the Lewis show that we've come to know. But your last 5 winners, very different names. Last year, again, Oscar, as we talked about. Prior to that, Max, Esteban, and then Lewis. So When I saw the stat that Lewis had 9 poles, I just assumed that meant he probably won 8 of them from pole. But well, that's definitely not true. So there's that for you. Let's see. It looks like Pirelli is bringing the C3, C4, and C5 tires for the weekend. And that is all of the information I have for you regarding stats and history.
There we go.
There
Simple as that.
Yes,
what are you feeling? Is it time to make some predictions?
It is time to get into our preview with our fantasy draft. Yes, we will.
Is that not the same thing as a prediction? I feel like that's
a
prediction in different words.
Yes, it very much is. So, with that, we shall go ahead and get started.
You get started with the first pick again.
I do get the first pick again because I'm a baller at this part of the program for some reason.
All right. Again, you invented it so you can win, which I fully support, to be clear. That rocks.
Not true. Definitely didn't think that was going to happen, but somehow I am okay with it. Somehow. Yes, of course I am okay with it. With that, let's see. Who do you think I'm going to take with my first overall pick?
I think you're going to take Yuki Tsunoda.
False. I am going to take Max Verstappen over Yuki Tsunoda, though, here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. That's my 1-1. It's been the 1-1 pick this entire year, and with
probably still will be. Yeah.
Unless things change, unless Yuki gets more upgrades on the car, he can show that he's not going to get mollywopped every single weekend, because he's driving a tractor and Max has somewhat of a race car. So you never know. But
it's a hell of a word, mollywopped.
It is a hell of a word, isn't it?
I'm kind of a little bit shook with that. You busted out the vocabulary. You got a big lexicon there.
There you go.
All right.
But yes, I will be taking Max Verstappen over Yuki Tsunoda first. That is my 1-1 pick. And now we go to you for your 1 and 2. I feel like we've talked enough about Red Bull. We can move on.
Yes, thankfully. God. With the second pick of this weekend, I feel like I should be booed like the commissioner is every time he comes out. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's better.
Got you.
I am going to take, and this pains me to do this, even though I would jump in front of a train for both of them. Charles Leclerc over Lewis Hamilton.
You're doing Leclerc over Hamilton.
I'm taking Leclerc over Hamilton, and then I will take Fernando Alonso. Over my Canadian cousin, Lance Stroll. Sorry, Lance.
Fernando over Lance. I do think those are good picks for you. Because Lewis has not beaten Leclerc except for at Silverstone, and the Alonso one should be more consistent, I think, but Stroll has been on a little bit of a heater as of late, but that can't be turned around.
No, and of course I'm definitely gonna get this wrong now that I voiced these predictions. But that's the fun of the program, right?
Fair enough. That is, in fact, the fun of the program. You are correct. With that, though, I know, we don't need to say much more about Aston Martin or Ferrari, I think, at this point in time. I hope Lewis has a good race, but I do agree that I think Charles is going to be better, and Aston Martin is Aston Martin this season. They're part of the who is going to be sixth place in the Constructors. We have a little bit of a pillow fight going on there for that. So, they're just kind of within that jumble of teams right there. With my next pick, though, I am going to go back to one of the top teams. I'm going to go ahead and take George over Kimi. I know we have seen, or we just heard that Mercedes is giving Kimi the old floor back to give him a little bit more comfort, or old suspension back to give him a little more comfort in the car. But that has been consistent all year. George has beaten Kimi at every race, and I do expect that trend to continue.
There we go.
George has been awesome this year. He just has been. Next up, as much as it pains you to go with the Leclerc Hamilton, this one pains me, I think, equally as much. I'm going to go ahead and take Alex Albon over Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, that sucks.
It sucks. Again, I'm a Sainz fan.
Pick.
Yeah, he's just not comfortable in that car, and it's clear. It just is. he's struggling in it. And again, I don't think that's indicative of what his career with Williams is going to be. I do think he will turn it around. He is too good of a driver to be driving like this. I think it is just a matter of maybe it's just something with this car that he hasn't grasped. And honestly, it's 2025 and everything changes next year. So who really cares? And again, JV has said as much that, yeah, it doesn't matter what happens this year. We're only focused on 2026. And I do firmly believe James Vowell when he says that too. He seems like a very genuine guy.
Is he James Vowels or James Vowell?
I thought it was Vowels.
It is Vowels.
Yeah.
You said Vowel, and I was like, only one? Which one? I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yeah.
We're good. All right.
What do you think, though, about Williams here? Do you think that's going to continue, or am I off base?
No, you're probably right, just because they've been vocal about the fact that they're not upgrading the car. And it sucks, but I understand it. So it's one of those things where I'm not going to complain about it. You know what I mean? So there we go.
Yep, there you have it.
I have faith in them next year, though. I do think you're right in that Carlos is going to take a step up, and hopefully they can be fighting for podiums, because the sport's better when Williams is better. The sport's better. The sport is better when Williams is competitive.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're just one of the classic teams. It's them and Ferrari. Those are like the two that are Formula One in my mind. Yeah, but I think of those two before I think of McLaren.
Interesting. Okay.
I do know McLaren also has the long history and everything, but that's just what I think of first. And again, I am one of the newer fans, so I could be wrong. I get that.
No,
that's my opinion.
you're not wrong in that, and that's not the wrong take. I just think it's fascinating to not think of McLaren like that because like I think of those as a trifecta. Like Ferrari is the only one that gets the heritage team money or whatever, which is controversial and kind of bullshit if we're honest.
Yeah.
But in the area of the cost cap, it matters a little bit less. It's more like the other side of things. But yeah, when I think about classic Formula One, I think McLaren, Williams, Ferrari. Like that's the trifecta that are the like the original 6 teams in hockey. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the equivalent there. So
fair enough. All right. Yeah. I like it.
What were we doing yet? It was my pick.
We are now on to your third and fourth picks. Yes.
Third and fourth picks. Jeez. Okay. So that leaves us Alpine, Sauber,
Haas,
McLaren,
and pause Ted, Racing Bulls.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with. I had to think about who Racing Bulls were for a second. I was like, wait a second, you picked Max.
The V-Carb, Alpha Tauri, Toro Rosso.
They're still Toro Rosso to me, dude. I can't. Let's go with Isaac Hadjar out of the Toro Rosso beating Liam Lawson, even though I don't love it as much as I would have a couple of weeks ago. I'm still believing in my boy.
Okay.
And then who were the other teams that we said were available? Let's go with Hulkenberg over Bortoletto, which I also don't love. But shit, it's better than taking Haas. So
I generally tend to agree with you on the Hulkenberg pick. I think the Hadjar one, you're expecting a bounce back, I'm assuming, from him this weekend.
Yeah.
Because Lawson has been driving very well as of the last couple of weeks here. So you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm picking with my heart, not my head.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can appreciate that. Yeah, those two are ones where I think it's you kind of just have to go with your gut a little bit more in terms of when you're picking those or looking at who's going to do better there, because Bortolotto has definitely shown the signs this season, and as of late again, where he's got some craft and some skill and some tact out there. So I do like that, but I do like Hulkenberg over Bortolotto a little bit more. I think honestly I would have probably gone Lawson over Hadjar this week just because of the hot hand there. But I don't know. We'll see. Hadjar can do it and prove it. So we've seen that already.
Or crash out lap 1. So we'll see.
Out. One or the other.
See how it goes. I don't know.
Not even lap 1 on the formation lap.
I wasn't gonna go there. That would have been too mean.
Some stupid book told me that didn't count as a DNF because he technically didn't even start the race.
Yeah, no, that was bullshit of that sports book. But if that sports book wants to send us an email,
I will complain to you silently.
It's backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com. First of all, we won't slander you, because if we get a sponsorship from a different sports book, we're going to slander all the other sports books, of course.
True.
But you also will give yourself a chance to redeem yourself, make Derek's bet whole, make it right, because it would have cashed.
Would love that.
And you can pay us for saying shit into a microphone.
True.
It's a win-win-win.
I think so.
There we go. Your next pick, sir.
My next pick. I'm happy you stayed away from the Alpine train because I'm going to take Pierre Gasly. No,
I realized that was a mistake after I picked Hadjar. I was like, oh fuck, I should have done that. But
yeah, he was out there for you, and I'm happy to take Pierre on my team.
And I like Pierre. I just don't like Alpine. I mean, I don't think the vibes are off with that program. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, we shall see. With my last pick, I am going to go to the Haswell, and I'm sticking with the rookie again. I'm going to take Behrman over Ocon again at the one track he has won at. I feel like that's a little bit of a risky take just because Ocon probably does like this track a lot, but Behrman's been driving really well the last few races, and I definitely think that, he can do it again. I do.
And I think
maybe he'll finish 11th for a 5th time in a row.
Who knows? I don't have a very high opinion of Ocon. So I agree with you there. That's a good sentiment. And that leaves me with the last pick.
Yes, it does. And it leaves you with McLaren.
And it leaves me with Oscar.
Yes, it does.
Over Lando. Because vibes are off with that guy. So, does that take us into our predictions? Well, this was already the predictions.
Yes, that was our prediction / race preview, more so, and how we think the teams are going to do. Well, roughly how we think the teams are going to do, more how we think the drivers in those teams are going to do. Honestly, the top 10's been interesting every week. We haven't had like the consistent, like all the top 4 teams are having all of the drivers score points every week, which has been super fun. Honestly, I like that a lot. The who's going to win has been not as exciting, but has been a little bit better than the past few seasons, I would say. Just with knowing, it was going to be Max and Red Bull winning pretty much every time. So I have enjoyed the season a lot. This has been one of my favorite F1 seasons that I have actually watched, which isn't a lot.
That was going to be my next question. How many seasons have you watched? Could you rank them? Is that possible?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm trying to remember when I would have started, because it was either one of the 2018s. Did I start in 2018 or did I start in 2019? Is the question. I started watching every race in 2019. I want to say.
I didn't realize you've been watching Formula 1 for that long. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit longer than expected, I would say, but. Yeah, when that first season of Drive to Survive came out, I really was like, I gotta watch this. And that came out in, I think, 2018. So I would have seen
the 2019 season, yeah.
Yeah, so the 2019 season. Because I think 2018, it followed the 2017 season. I don't remember exactly. But I think I started watching 2019 because I remember watching Mercedes and Lewis win everything, basically, again. Ricardo was not on Red Bull at that point. He would have been with Renault. Yeah, that sounds about right. So ranking them in terms of best, I think because the season hasn't finished, I have to put 2021 at the top. Just because of the Max and Lewis battle. That was actually epic. And it was the first time. It was the only season so far where it was kind of like, okay, yeah, who is actually going to win the championship? Because otherwise it was just Lewis or it was just Max. And that's kind of what it was.
Until now.
Well, yeah, until now.
Yeah.
Last year was what, 2024. So 2023, I think I'm going to put dead last in terms of excitement because Max won every race except for 3, and Checo won 2, and Sainz won 1, which good for Sainz. That was awesome.
And that was an awesome race.
Yeah. Last season might be 2. I think I'd put last season at number 2. Then 2022, 2023, and 2019, I think is going to be kind of a wash for me.
Okay.
I think that's how I'd rank it.
I can
blind ranking.
Blind ranking, because I'm like, oh shit, that happened. Top 3 of the seasons that I have watched, 2015 and 2016 were awesome. 2016 is going to get the edge out because Rosberg won. 2015 was the year that they had double points at Abu Dhabi. Did you know about this?
No.
Yeah. So to make things more exciting and make things more interesting, they decided that the last race of the season was going to be worth 2 times the amount of points as all the other races. Yeah.
Yes.
Which kept the championship alive until the last race because, if you're going to win. Numbers, and it was Max versus... It was... No, not Max. Fuck, not Max.
Lewis versus...
It was Lewis versus Nico again. Right? So, and I will very distinctly remember this. I think Nico was on pole. One of the 2 was on pole because it was the Mercedes show. Similar to how it was when you were watching Red Bull and it was Red Bull. It was the Max, the Lewis and Nico show. And I keep saying Max. I'm so fucking Freudian slip, just so fucking on it.
Yeah.
It was the Lewis and Nico show, and they were going back and forth. And I remember that Nico had a shot.
Yeah.
I was in Team Lewis, but I was excited no matter what.
Okay.
And Nico had a mechanical failure during the race, and it was like his championship is over, and it's done. Hear just this sorrow in his voice, and he says, "Can I please finish the race? I don't want to give up. I don't want to pull out. Like I have to
try.
I have to finish. We're doing it." And it was heartbreaking, but it was like, oh my God.
Well, that kind of makes it sweeter than that he did win in 2016.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know that I was rooting against Lewis, but I wasn't mad at the outcome of that championship.
Sure.
And then you have Barcelona 2016, Max's first win, where Nico and Lewis smack into each other.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, which was incredible.
I have a quick question for you on the 2015 season. Who was leading going into that race in the championship?
I believe that it was Hamilton. I could be totally wrong on that. I know it was one of the 2. I know it was far and away. It was going to be one of those guys who was going to win the championship, and the final race, because of the double points, was the deciding factor.
Right.
And I believe that it was Hamilton, but I could be wrong. If I am wrong, backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com. Tell me why I was wrong, but no, I wasn't.
I love that.
So 2015 and 2016 are
1 and 2
up there.
Top 3.
I'd say just top 3. I mean, I would have to go back and watch the seasons again, but it was a little bit boring seeing the Mercedes show, like, and then who comes in? Well, it was usually Williams, in that beautiful white martini livery Williams. Ooh, man, that was gorgeous.
So,
yeah.
Were you around, or were you around? Were you watching the 2012 year?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I was not, because I started watching in 2014.
Okay.
And I started watching intermittently. I want to say I started around Monaco 2014. I watched Japan 2014, where Jules Bianchi had his accident, which was bad. And that really sucked. But I also saw him get points at Monaco, and like the significance of that and how big of a deal that was not lost on me. And yeah, shout out to Marussia, shout out to Caterham. Yeah, that was the first season that I watched. 2015 was the first season that I watched every single race over religiously. And then 2016, it's been game over since 2015, 2016. Yeah. So
cool. With that,
predictions.
Let's go ahead and get into our race picks.
There we go.
Starting off, race winner, who you got?
It's Oscar.
Oscar, yeah. I figured.
Yeah. As usual.
You've been right most of the time, and just that alone would keep you in the plus area. Yeah. So that's pretty good.
We'll see. I think
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I think that he's I think he's just kind of the guy to beat. I don't think Lando's gonna put it together to get past him. So yeah, that's all.
With that, I think Lando gets revenge this year. I think he gets his win at Hungary.
That's what he's hungry for it.
He is hungry for it.
I'm so sorry, listener. I apologize. I think yes, I'm a firm.
I do think that.
I'm a firm believer in intending your puns, but I'm also a firm believer in apologizing for them when they're shit. So.
But yeah, I think Lando gets his revenge. I think he feels that he shouldn't have had to give up the place last year. I don't think he forgot about that, and you see a little bit of a grittiness out of him. However, I know one of the other things that's happened is Oscar, this leading up to this race, has talked about how he's ready to just take the driver's championship and not hold back. So it's a little bit of a mountain for him to climb up for sure. But I think maybe Lando's got a little something extra in the tank this weekend, and he goes out and tries to get a win.
I think Lando's softer than baby shit.
I know that.
I think there's no way. I don't think that he's gonna put it together, and I bad for him, but sorry, not it.
Is what it is. Here we are. With that winning margin, do you like under 5 seconds, between 5 and 10, or over 15?
Over 15.
Over 10 seconds. Apologies.
I was gonna say, wow. Between 5 and 10 is usually what I pick.
Is he going back to it though?
I'm not gonna deviate from the trend. That's correct. His cat says hello.
Hi, cat. Bye, cat. Nope, you're still here.
No, we got a little tail action.
And now
we got an ear.
We're circling.
All right. Yeah, he does. Let's see if he'll let me pick him up this time.
Hi, cat. It looks like it. Cat, I have a cat on my head.
There's a cat.
Look, it's you, but bigger.
It looks like I'm strangling him.
But bigger and bluer. Yeah. With that, my winning margin prediction, I'm sticking with the under 5. That's proven to be a good pick that so far this season for me, and I'm going to continue with that. The McLarens are just too close and too competitive with each other, that I think it's too rare for them to go over 5 seconds, unless something brutally crazy happens, and then it's
who knows. We love that. That makes it more exciting.
Yes, it does. But yeah, I like the under 5 seconds on that one. That takes us to our classified finishers now. Line again is set at 18.5 finishers on this. Do you like over or under on that one?
18.5. I like under, just because that's not like one car coming out is not a number that I really love. I know there's a minimal chance for a safety car or a VSC, but you can't count on a mechanical failure.
Yep.
And I know Hungary is a pretty responsible track. You don't see a lot of guys that are doing stupid shit that take multiple cars out.
Mm-hmm.
So while I don't love this, I want it to happen.
Fair enough.
Give me some chaos. There we go. I hate that. I'm already regretting it, but I already.
You don't want Plan C?
What's Plan C?
It's from the F1 movie.
Oh.
It's really, I'm not gonna lie, that part of the movie is really dumb.
I'm sure the whole movie is dumb. I have refused to see it thus far, and will do my best to continue to refuse to see it.
I might just have to give a solo movie review next time. And we'll be really late to that one.
I don't want to.
I feel like it's been enough time has passed that it's no longer a spoiler. If you wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now.
I don't know. I feel like we should give it maybe a couple of years just to be sure, because like I haven't seen a couple of movies that have come out in the last years, and I'm not going to be upset about spoilers, but also like let's give it like 5 years before we do it a spoiler. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. I'm going with the over. I like the over 18.5. With this one, I tend to look a lot at what those predictions are for the safety cars, and I feel like it does kind of follow that. Yes, mechanical failures can happen. Multiple in a race that would get you down to 3 cars getting out. I don't love.
No, but 2 cars come out. That's it, because it's 18.5, right?
Oh, right. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 cars. I don't know. I already said over, so I gotta stick with that. But I still like that pick.
And that was the other thing. I like the over better, but I didn't want it to be chalk the whole way. So like I'm variety of the program, you know?
Hey, if you're just trying to pick winners, man, you gotta go with what you think.
All right. Do you want to do that, or do you want to have an entertaining podcast?
You're locked in at this point in time. You're not changing anything. I do like the over. I'm sticking with the over on this one.
That's what I'm saying. That will inform my picks next time if we're actually trying to win. So
fair enough.
Duly noted.
Well, there you go. That's our race preview. I don't have bonus picks for you this week. I don't believe it's sprint week, and I haven't seen anything that says it will be. So we're gonna ride with that. It's not. Let me actually double check that before we're dead wrong on it.
I was gonna say, if we're wrong, email us backmarkersf1pod@gmail.com.
Yes. All right. Stop freaking out on me, thing. Okay. Hungary.
Hey yo.
Thank God. Okay, yes, it is not a sprint weekend. We were right on that.
There we go. Do you want to throw out a bonus pick anyway?
No.
He said no.
Full stop. No, I don't.
Can we go back, because I think we were talking I said I'd give a top 3 favorite seasons that we've watched. I don't think I gave a third. I just said 15 and 16.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yes. You're third then.
I had to think about it. I think it would be 2017.
15, 16, 17.
No, honestly, because if I'm remembering correctly, because I think Raikkonen was, because it was Lewis versus Sebastian for the championship.
Okay.
There were a lot of good races. I think that's when Kimi Räikkönen got his last win. That could have been 2018 at COTA, but I think it was 2017. The first year of no Nico in the uncertainty that Valtteri Bottas brought into that that second seat. Max showing flashes and kind of becoming Max, you know. That was another really great season. 2021 was a good season, but also like, and 2021 was a good season, and I'm not trying to fucking redo the last race of that season, right? Because everybody's a revisionist about it.
Yeah.
And if we take away the result, right, we pretend the Grand Prix did not happen, right? Max still wins the championship based on wins. They were tied on points, or Max was ahead on points. I think they were tied on points.
They were tied on points going into the race.
Max wins based on the number of wins that he had gotten earlier in the season. So I'm not trying to relitigate that, and it's exhausting when people bring it up, but 2021 was a banger of a season.
No, Michael, no.
Oh my God, I hate that so much. It's so
no,
bad.
that was awesome. Dude, that last lap was perfect drama. It just was.
No,
I mean, deny that, but
objectively, like it's shitty. You know, I mean, it should have been all that and more for Lewis. It sucks that it wasn't. And but it sucks from a perspective of the sport. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't ideal. But it was also like, okay, Charlie Whiting wasn't there anymore, who was the longtime race director who would have made sure that the proper procedures were followed. Somebody did something that was out of pocket, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I mean, Max, Lewis is still Lewis.
Yeah.
But realistically, like that kind of sucked.
I loved it.
All right, there we go.
And there you have it. There's your Hungarian Pontiac Grand Preview. Thanks for tuning in and listening with us again. I hope you enjoy the race. I hope we have a good one. I hope we have a banger of a race, honestly. We get some fun excitement. I hope Lando wins. Ben hopes Oscar wins.
We'll see what happens.
Let us know who you think is going to win. But until then, we'll see you after the episode, or after the race, and we'll see you next time.
Drive safe, everybody.